Welcome to the Gyrl podcast. I'm Kyra Mitchell Lewis, and thank you all for joining. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope your week is off to a great start. Well, it's technically Thursday, so hopefully you've had a great week. Welcome to Friday Junior, and welcome to It's Been a Long Week, right? All right, so before we jump into this week's topic, just remember that if you've missed any past career series episodes, you can watch them on YouTube or you can listen on your favorite podcast platform. Also, you can check out our interview episodes of the Gyrl podcast as well. All right, so today, let's jump into our topic. Today, we're talking about rules for remixing your career. So what do I mean when I say remixing your career? So it means a number of things, obviously, right? Say you are currently maybe someone who's leading a team of people. You are a director, you are head of, you are VP, you are some, senior level leader, or you are a manager of people. And you just decide, you know what? Don't know that I want to lead a group of people. I want to have impact, but maybe not impact in the people area, but just impact in my day-to-day job. So that's one example. Also, you could be someone that is in any position and you're thinking, I just maybe like to be doing something different. That's another example. You could also be someone who is close to retirement, potentially, and you're trying to figure out, what does the latter part of my career look like? Maybe I'm trying to find a better balance in my life. Maybe I'm over the hustle life. I want something different. So it could look like a number of things, right? It could also look like a job, maybe potentially downsizing the workforce, and maybe you need to find, you're being put into a situation where you have to find something different, which gives you an opportunity to determine, is this the field that I want to continue in, or do I want to do something different? So I think there are a lot of different scenarios where you may be looking at remixing your current career. So let's just talk about maybe some benefits. So even if you're someone and you haven't really thought about it, you've been just going through, maybe you like your job, maybe you don't like your job. Maybe your job is a means to an end right now. Maybe you have a business that you're working on and you're in a job. But I always say to people, even if you are an entrepreneur, just like I am, right? Even if you are an entrepreneur, you don't want to, even if you're an entrepreneur and you have to work, right? Because I always say, while I'm building, my business on the side, I still want to really, really like the job that I'm doing every day, the one that I get up and do, early in the morning. So I think that it's just really important to identify where you are and what scenario fits for you. So what I want to do is start with maybe what are some benefits to the remix of your career. And I think not all four of these benefits that I'm going to give are going to probably apply to each person in each scenario. But I think that out of the four, you'll find one that maybe strikes home for you. All right. The first thing is reducing stress. So according to Northwestern National Life, more than 40% of workers say that their job is extremely or very stressful. So if you're thinking that I'm stressed, Obviously you want to find a way to alleviate that stress. So guess what? Maybe a less demanding job might be something that you might look into. You might look into opportunities where you aren't carrying all of the stress of like the leading, the managing. I think a lot of times that, people who are in leadership positions, I think sometimes people mistake that because someone's a leader, that means all they're doing is just directing and guiding. No, I personally know that I am a working manager. So, as one of my old managers and one of my good friends, Christy, said, you got to think, plan, and do. So, like all day, I'm thinking, I'm planning, and I'm also doing, I'm also executing on the work. So, if you think about it, it can be very stressful to lead a full team, be responsible for other people, and responsible for yourself and your work, right? So, if you're someone who might be dealing with stress, or even if you're in a individual contributor role, a lot of times, I mean, maybe you are carrying the workload of maybe multiple people. That can also be stressful. So I think like determining if you want something that feels less demanding, or something that feels less stressful, that is an option, because that would definitely um, help you lead you. If you get a less stressful job or opportunity, it might help you to enhance your health and overall well-being. And it could also provide you with time to focus on additional things in your life that maybe you haven't had time to do. Maybe there are hobbies, there's volunteering, there is maybe you want to start your own business too. So, I think you have to weigh all those options. And yes, if you're a person now, you're already stressed out, and then you're like, but I want to start a business on the side. Well, what do you think is going to happen? You're just going to pour on top of it, and you're going to be even more stressed. All right. The second benefit to remixing is there's an opportunity to change fields. So in the workplace today, we know that a lot of people change jobs, right? And even careers more often than we know right now. So I think that if you're someone and you're saying, I have opportunities, or I enjoy doing this. Maybe there's a job for me here, or maybe if you're looking within your own company and saying, I'd like to maybe pursue a job in, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something. So you might be someone who works in like customer experience or customer service, and you're saying, well, I'd like to, I have some transferable skills that might help me to become like a coordinator on the marketing team. Like just figuring out where there may be some opportunities. And then also too, if you're someone of a, like a manager or a senior level, I mean, maybe if you go into a different field, you may have to look at more of like an entry level starter position, right? So, like, if you're someone who is, say, you work in marketing today, but then you're interested in project management and you're trying to figure out how do I make that transition, there are probably lots of opportunities, right, that you can think of, like even looking at what's available inside of the company that you may be with right now. You might be able to take on some project management jobs on the side, in your spare time. And I'm not saying that because I say that and I'm laughing. You don't see me if you're not watching, but I am smiling. You know, I know most people will say, what free time? Right. But I think when you're looking to transition into something or make a change into a different field, sometimes you are going to have to just overextend yourself just a little bit, because that's how you're going to create the opportunity, is by being willing to do just a little bit more in order to say, hey, I've got an interest here. I know it's not my job today. I know I'm not trained in it, but I'm working on, getting certified in it. I'd like to see how I can step in here and help, because I have the natural skills in order to do project management. So like I have a person on my team who is very interested in transition to project management, and that's exactly what she's done. She has taken on projects with me and is working on some project managing a lot of different things for the team, but also in the background, she's working on getting a certification as well. Okay, number 3, pursue other interests. So maybe, you're less focused on like your job and wanting to move up the ladder. Maybe you're okay with like where you are. You're like, I'm fine here. Because let's just be honest, because we talk honest with each other here at Glow Up Girl. There's some people that you may be in a role, right? You're like, I'm not moving up. I'm not moving down. I'm cool with that. I'm getting raises, increases in my salary, but I have balance. I want to, find, and I find that a lot of those people are like super happy and they are easy. They're calm. They enjoy life. They get to do like personal things. They get to volunteer. They get to spend time with their family. So I think that, you want to figure out when you're thinking about the remix to your career is like, what do you personally want for yourself? What do you need? And I think when you understand like what are your priorities, then it's going to really help you figure out where and what you need to do next for yourself. So like I said, that just might be one thing is like pursuing some other, interests like volunteering, starting a business, being there to go, support your children or support a family member, like maybe you have a child that plays soccer and you're like, I want to be the team parent, I want to be one of the parents that travels and works the concessions and all that stuff. But if you have a very demanding job and if you're still working when the games start, I mean, you're not going to really be able to support your child. So it's important for you to figure out like what's really important to you. All right. And then the fourth benefit of remixing or thinking about a remix to your career is prepping for retirement. So if you're someone who may be at a later stage in your career, you might be really trying to figure out like what I want to do, like how do I want to walk into retirement? And you know what? Again, we're being honest with each other here. Like it's totally okay to say that, I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to ride off into the sunset, right? I want to do my job. I want to do what needs to be done. I'm content. Let me keep adding value in the way that I add value. But let's just be honest. Some people may be at a stage where they're not trying to do any more and they're not trying to do any less. So I think it's really important to actually just be really honest with yourself, because I see that a lot when you get to, and just jobs that I've been in when maybe I've worked with people who were, more experienced and maybe getting closer to getting closer to retirement, that a lot of times they struggle because they're trying to figure out like, how do I keep evolving? How do I keep evolving? How do I keep evolving to keep up with everybody else? And I think at some points, it's like when you understand the value that you bring, because guess what? Everybody on a team that is contributing with positive impact, they're adding value to the team. And I think it's important to just make sure that you remember that and you don't try to, twist yourself into pretzels trying to be something that you think the team needs. Bring what you bring to the table and, be solid and firm in that. And, you working alongside the other people on the team with different strengths and different strengths will help make a, more dynamic team. Okay, so those were some of the benefits. So benefits, reducing stress, 2, potentially changing your field, 3, you are able to pursue other interests, and then 4, maybe you're thinking about retirement and prepping for that next season of your life. All right. So how are you going to do it? Here are some strategies if you're considering a remix to your career. All right. Number one is budget, budget, budget. So before you take any type of leap, right? So if you have decided, you know what, I think I want to take a step down from management, oftentimes we don't know what that looks like, all around, right? You may find, if you're lucky and fortunate, right, you don't have to take a reduction in salary. But sometimes if you take off the leadership responsibilities from your job, maybe you have to take a small pay cut or something. So, that's something to think about. Also, if you say, I'm going to change fields, maybe you're going to go from working in one field where you're getting paid, maybe more money, and then you're going to transition to something that, your salary is going to look a lot different, or you're going to take maybe say you're going to take a $20,000 or $30,000 pay cut. You want to make sure that you are aligning your expenses in order to be able to obtain what is the ultimate dream for you as it relates to your career. So you want to take a look at, right, what am I paying? What are the things that are must-haves for me? Where can I cut expenses? Where can I let some things, go? Are there subscriptions? Are there apps that I was having this conversation last week with my therapist about just apps and how, there are apps that we pay for that we don't use. And those things add up. It might be $5 a month, but I mean, $5 a month times 12 months. I mean, that's still like $60 that you could be saving and spending on something else. So just make sure that, when you're thinking about the remix of your career, that you also align your everyday expenses and your budget with what you want to happen next. All right, number two is identify your strengths. We talk a lot about that here at Glow Up Gyrl and on Career Series, but it is so important to understand your value, your strengths, what you bring to the table, and then just really looking at transferable skills. Because again, as the example I just gave earlier about the young lady on my team who has an interest in project management. Well, the job that she's currently employed in, I mean, it did allow and did call for her to be good at managing and being organized as far as like projects and being structured. So those are transferable skills because she was already really good at that now is creating opportunities for her to walk into a project management field. So really spend time evaluating your skills. Take inventory, see where there may be gaps, right? And look at if there are certifications, if there are things that you're able to do that would help you prepare for that next phase in your career. All right, number three, reintroduce your brand. So, of course, if you're making a change in your career or if you're looking to do something different, you may very well, to some people, may get your resume and say, oh, well, I don't see any skills that align with the job that you are looking for. So you're going to want to think about how you position yourself, how you tell your story. So you think about, your LinkedIn page, your profile for LinkedIn. You think about your resume. Think about any cover letters. Oh, yeah, I know I said it. I hate cover letters probably as much as like anybody listening or watching right now. I just never quite understand why I'm going to go on the tangent, but I never quite understand why someone wants me to write a cover letter. I mean, it's apparent that I want to work here, right? Or I wouldn't be taking the time to fill out this really long application. Or don't get me started on the applications that say, would you like to easy apply with LinkedIn? And then you do it, but yet you still have to go in and fill in all that information, right? Who does that to someone? I have in the past, honestly, like left a lot of job applications because it just didn't feel like filling out that whole form all over again. All right. Okay. So I went off track, but I'm back. Okay. So think about where you need to reintroduce your brand and along with those skills that support where you'd like to go next in your career. So if you are if you're on LinkedIn and like I said, if you are someone who is going from being so say you're a market, excuse me, you're going to marketing, right? And you're like, I'm going to go into, I want to be a chef. And I've been in the background, what have I been doing to support that? I've been in the background making videos, shooting content that showcases my talents and my skills, my cooking skills. And then you're starting to put those out on your social platforms so that people are now starting to see you as someone who is a content creator in the food industry. So it's just a matter of looking at like, what is it that you're trying to obtain? And are there minds that you're going or people you need to influence, right? Because if you don't necessarily have, like, if you don't have on your resume that, I was a chef at this restaurant, but how can you start to create a story that supports what you are good at, what you have an interest in, just enough, right, to get your foot in the door and to have a conversation. All right. And then the last one is it goes really along with like the brands. I'm sorry, there's two more. Apologies. It goes right along with reintroducing your brand. It's just editing, updating your resume. So, you may want to remove some things when you no longer want to, if you're changing fields. And you want to try to focus on the areas that you want to grow or the area that you want to move forward in. So if you're someone and you're saying, I don't want to be in management anymore, you'll probably want to de-emphasize those on your resume where you've led teams and led people, but then you want to try to emphasize the areas in which now you want to be seen as a value, having impact or being able to add value. Because the last thing you want to do is leave stuff on your resume and then you're applying for a job that may be like you going from leader to like more of an individual contributor, but then your resume feels very heavy with like leader, these type things. And then it's going to come across that maybe you're overqualified or someone's going to think, oh, this person must want a big salary, And so, or they're just like, we can't pay them. No, they can't do this. So just make sure that you use simple language and you focus on like the relevant aspects of your background for that job or for the position that you're interested in. And I say that no matter what, whether you're remixing or just, if you're looking for a different job, I think a lot of times what we do with our resumes also, I say it because I'm guilty of it in the past, is that you're like dumping everything. But I think you really have to have different resumes for different opportunities. And you want to be able to like tailor it to fit what you're going after. So that never gets old. Like that doesn't decline. But what does decline is having a resume that has like everything but the kitchen sink. In some cases, the kitchen sink too. Okay. All right. Number 5, see if there are contract and part-time work opportunities with your current company. So, you may be trying to determine, like maybe your remix involves you stepping away and starting your own business, or say you want to be a consultant or something like that. You can always find out, if you have a good relationship with your manager and you are a value asset on the team, maybe there's opportunities for you to leave the company, but negotiate on some contract work, or maybe it could be part-time work. So you still want to make sure, like, if you enjoy it and you like it, but you're maybe looking for something different, like I need some more better balance, maybe there are opportunities where you can do contract, temporary, or part-time. All right, number 6, use your network. Use your network. I know we say this all the time. We know how important it is to use our contacts and other people to help introduce you to their contacts, because it is a lot about who you know. I mean, I think opportunities present themselves when someone knows that, oh yeah, I know a person, or I've got a friend that used to work with the person who knows how to do this. I can't say enough. Like, I heard I was talking to somebody the other week, and they were just talking about, oh, sorry. They were just talking about how they have been getting opportunities because someone like simply recommended them because they remembered a friend talking about this person and a service they offered. Okay. All right. Number 7, try it out wherever you might be able to do like a trial run, so it's less risk, right? So if you're in a job now and you're saying, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe, I want to do this, are there opportunities for you to take like some part-time work? Is there an opportunity for you to volunteer to get that experience? So figure out if you could do a trial run before if you don't want to just like rip the band-aid off, or like just jump in the deep end. Maybe there are ways to be able to figure out how you can do something to see if it's something that you really are interested in doing. All right, and then last is really just take an action, do something. So like, don't just say want to I want to go into coaching, or I want to go into project management. Don't just say that, oh, I'm tired of like being a manager. Like, I really want to just be an individual contributor. Or don't say, yeah, I really would love to switch industries. I'm tired of like doing this because I need more balance. Or don't say, I want to start a business, but I just don't know. So, don't get out of your own head. Don't overthink it. Just break down your plans, because I know it's going to feel, and it's going to be overwhelming when you start. But if you just go back, make a plan, put down what is the ultimate goal. First, figure out the scenario that you're in, right? That's where you want to start, is to figure out like, what is what I want? What is my end result? What is the goal? That's the net. What is the goal? What do I want? And then once you do that, then you can figure out, what are the steps that I need to take in order to get to this end. It's not going to happen overnight. In a perfect world, it would, but chances are it's not. So you want to make sure that you figure out a plan in how to get there. All right. So those quickly, the strategies: budget, align your budget to that next opportunity. 2, identify your strengths. 3, reintroduce your brand. 4, update your resume. 5, figure out if there's any contract, part-time, or temporary work that you can do with your current company. 6, utilize your connections. 7, take a trial run. And 8, just take action. You got to start somewhere. Start small, just start. All right, so remixing your career can open up a lot of new opportunities, and it can also help you to create more balance in your life, and ultimately create not only a career, but a life that you love. All right. So I hope that if you are someone that was considering, if you were thinking about a remix to your career, even if you'd never thought about it, hopefully the discussion we had here today has provided some insights and will help you move forward to finding, exactly what you're looking for in your career and for your life. All right. So before I go, remember, you can head over to globegirl.com. You can access previous podcast episodes, resources, and more. Again, if you are someone you're listening to our conversations here on the career series, and this message might be resonating with you, and depending on where you are in your career or where you are in life, I invite you to head over and join Glow Up Gyrl over on Patreon and unlock your potential. We have a Glow Getter membership, which is $5 a month. Like, you can go there, you can gain access to career tips from me, guidance, resources, and so much more. It's like I'm virtually coaching you. And it's all for a $5 commitment. Like, I don't think that it can get a lot better than that. Just know that everything that I work on, everything I put into this community is really all designed to help you, me, anyone create a career in life that you love and that you can be proud of. So whether you're starting out, looking to level up, the membership will empower you and help you hopefully reach new heights. All right. So share your thoughts or topics with me. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I can be reached at Glow Up Gyrl. Also, share this episode with your friends. Sharing is caring, after all. So if you can pass this along to your friends or anyone you think that might need an episode like this or a series like this, I would love for you to do that. And I'm going to thank you in advance. Also, if you're on a platform where you can review or rate us, please do so. We'd love to have you send us some stars. Of course, all 5 stars are welcome, but any stars, any feedback is welcome, because I also aim to make this show better and to give you tools and information that is helpful to anyone out there who might be listening. All right. So I want to thank you all for taking time out of your schedule, for popping in with me today, spending a little time with me. I so appreciate the support. Thank you all for the kind words. I love reading the reviews. They are so awesome. It is just so wonderful to see the work that is put into this podcast from, not only me, but from the editing to the guests that appear on the show, to the research tools that I use to find information that helps me to put these episodes together for you. So I'm so really thankful for all of the support and all the kind words all the time. So I will see you all next week, and thank you for joining. So until then, stay focused, fab, and glow up. Take care, everyone.